All right, it's so wonderful to be with you again. Cisco Walker, an evangelist here in the International District. And I have with me here Pastor Joanne Landry. She's always so helpful as we look at what's going on and the situations that take place here in the International District. I have a passage of Scripture to read for you today. It comes out of Luke's Gospel, Luke chapter 10, verse 33. It says this: "But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. So he went to him, bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine, and he set him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. On the next day when he departed, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, 'Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I come again, I will repay you.' So which of these 3 do you think was neighbor to him who fell among the thieves?" And he said, "He who showed mercy on him." Then Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." So today we're going to be talking about, the subject is, sometimes trying to be the Good Samaritan is complicated, right? And it is complicated, especially for us who live here in the International District, who engage in ministry constantly in the International District. And, you know, we have opportunities literally every day to show acts of kindness, show acts of charity, to get involved and to help someone. But we also have the opportunity to not get involved as well. Because you remember in the story, the priest and the Levite, like, they choose not to get involved. And there's a lot of people in society, there's a lot of people in the Albuquerque area, the metro area, they just don't want to get involved in being the Good Samaritan, because for them, it is too complicated. For them, it is too hard. And for them, they have a lack of empathy and compassion that sometimes we think only Christ can give us compassion and empathy, but there are a lot of people who don't know Jesus, and it seems to me at times that their love and their compassion even surpasses many evangelicals who claim to know Christ. And so as we look at this now, we see how it becomes very complicated. It's very intricate. It's very sophisticated. And so you know more than anybody about how complicated it can be to actually be the Good Samaritan. So what have been some of your challenges? Like, why is it complicated for you, a pastor who has a ministry right in the center of literally the fentanyl epidemic?
Yeah, we've overcome, I think, a whole lot of the roadblocks. When we got started, I've been pastoring for 30 years, but the Compassion Center was a vision back in 2010, and we started identifying in the community that there was a whole lot of new faces. And when we found out that they were homeless people, they were living at the end of the block at the park. So we wanted to start reaching out to them and helping them. But with very limited funding, we just started small, like maybe a few times a week having cereal. And then getting to know names and putting little Bible studies in a little bag with goodies and bread that we had purchased at the bread store up the street. So from just a small beginning, and I think that's where a lot of people start, or they give up because they think it's way too huge. Or if you run against the roadblock of the zoning in the city of Albuquerque with the do's and don'ts, it can get really frustrating. I mean, there's people that want to do the safe outdoor spaces, but you have to do this, you have to hurdle this, you have to do this, you can't do it this way. So I think some of the people have taken a step back, which I think the mayor is trying now to change some of that. That would make it a little bit more doable. With us, we just needed bukus of bucks, which we really didn't have. but we had a great city councilor at the time, Pat Davis, and we had an amazing commissioner at the time, Commissioner Stebbins, and they came together because they had a vision, and they said, let us help. So they gave me lots of money to go ahead and put utilities on the lot, to get a modular, a double wide moved here. I mean, that stuff's expensive. That was $6,000 just to get it moved here. Well, we were waiting on permits, which took over a year, because they kept saying, no, you still got to do this. No, you just, I mean, so you have to really be tenacious.
And you have to be connected politically to some degree.
To some degree, you can. And I just landed on one of the most amazing city councilors we ever had here. And he was ready to do it. And so we had the support of the neighborhood associations, and that was a big plus. I was the president here for 19 years, so for Trumbull. So I think having all that, giving of your time, making those meetings, creating relationship with county and city, I think it really paid off for us. So it gets, the building gets vandalized, and then we get it moved. Thank God I was working for a counseling agency, took all that money, and we healed our building. We got it up to par. So we were able, God even sent us missionaries from Arkansas and other states that had engineers in that group. I had like 4 engineers that quit on me, 2 architects that quit on me. They're like, no, ma'am, this is going to take money, what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And God sent them to me.
Wow.
And yes, but we opened it up, and and I've shared this story with others too, that when we did open, we said, okay, we'll use the back area because we had a nice, nice area. We can put their shopping carts that has their belongings, their possessions, all that they have. We'll put that back there, and then they'll be out of sight, and then they can still have them. Well, 2 things I found out about that is the neighbors didn't like that. And so they called it in, and I got cited, and they said, you either have 30 days to remove all these baskets and all this is illegal storage, or, they had their nice little threat against me. So we had that. And then I found out that if you even have a shopping cart on your property, you can get $400 fine.
Yeah, and see, this is what I wanted to, this is why I like to talk to you, because like, what some of the laws are, like, how they change, like you understand the zoning. Being a Good Samaritan, it is complicated. This is a story that I wanted to share with you, because this actually happened right here in the city of Albuquerque, in the heart of Albuquerque, in the metro area, not particularly in the international district. But this is what I wanted to see what your perspective was, because, okay, so this literally happened. The pastor of the church told the leadership team, go out and throw out the garbage. So the leadership goes out to the garbage area. There's a garbage can. It's got the locks on it because, you have to have everything locked, or people will just come and just fill it with trash from like their apartments or the back of a pickup. So he gives them the key. They go out to the area. It's got like a wooden fence enclosure around it. And those in leadership notice that there is a mattress behind the dumpster, and there's like debris, cans, papers. And so like, obviously somebody is sleeping back there behind the dumpster. Now, in this particular area, there was 3 things that people could do, right? Priest, Levite, Good Samaritan. So the leadership team and the pastor, they had 3 choices to make. And, they have to ask themselves, like, what do we do? How do we handle this? Because as we've talked about this, being the Good Samaritan, it can be a delicate issue. It can be a complicated issue. And it's a reoccurring problem, right? So you have the Christian has his obligation of what to do as it concerns being the Good Samaritan, but the pastor's obligation is a little bit different than the Christian's obligation. And the pastor is also in charge of that property, So the property owners, the way he responds to the man who was beaten and robbed in the parable, so what is like the correct answer? Because there's two sides to every coin, and they obviously handled the situation the way that they handled it. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is, there's two sides to every coin to how to handle this problem. And is this a good problem or a bad problem for a church to have?
It's a common problem because
Okay.
a lot of people, especially, I don't know if this church was offering resources.
Mm-hmm.
I know with us, we feed twice a day, we give showers, we have the overnight shelter. I mean, we help with food out on the outside. I mean, we get hundreds of pounds of food. I mean, so we're constantly open, we're constantly giving out. But in order to be able to do that, Cisco, you have to do what's needed to do it. If I just said, forget the city, bring your basket in. Come on, sweetheart, it's okay.
Yeah, well,
And then they say, you know what? Here you go. Here you now you're gonna get served.
Yeah, they would shut. They would shut. Eventually, it would roll downhill.
I'm gonna become a nuisance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here in Albuquerque, if you have so many calls for service, you become a nuisance. And,
Okay.
And they're gonna try to get you out. They're gonna try to stop what you're doing. If you're not going to comply with the city of Albuquerque's, there's a way you can do that and still keep intact your mission.
Yeah.
It's going to take work. It's going to take getting on the phone. It's going to take bringing the city here if you need to, the mayor's office, sitting down, having conversations, letting them know I didn't know that was happening, but because this mission is important to me, and the people are going to understand.
Yeah.
If they know that they're going to benefit, then they're going to help me. And I always try to have that kind of attitude, Cisco.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to give you this shower today.
Yeah.
I love giving you a lunch, but I'm going to need you to leave your bags in this area, please.
Yeah.
Take only what you need. Take your 25-minute shower.
Yeah, that's a long time too.
And then come on out. Oh, some of them will take an hour and a half, and we got to,
But at the same time, like we have to put ourselves in the place of the man who was beaten and robbed and left by the thieves. And so, like, it's so much easier to be the priest, right? It's so much easier to just walk by. It's so much easier to be the Levite, to maybe look, but like not get involved. It's always easier not to get involved. That's why the parable of the Good Samaritan, like, I've been looking at it for years, and I constantly look at it, and I'm constantly challenged by the realities. Are we the priest? Are we the Levite? Or are we the Good Samaritan, right? And too many times, like, we raise our hands and we jump up and we say, I'm the Good Samaritan. But I'm finding, if we're honest with the darkness in our heart, the hardness in our heart, especially when you live in this area, you see things every day. You see Albuquerque raw. You see the homicide going up. You see gun violence. You see drug addiction. You see people being exploited and brutalized. And, like, you can get very hard-hearted. And even evangelicals, they can get a shell upon them. I've even seen volunteers and ministries around this area where they're almost like an automation. Like, they're doing the work, they're handing out the bottles of water, they're running the clothing trailer or the clothing room, but like, it would appear, because I don't know the hearts of people, but it would appear by the fruit, it would appear by their actions that they're doing it begrudgingly. They're like, let's get through this, let's get this done, let's get these people out of here so we can go home, or we can go and do whatever it is that we have to do. And the ironic thing and the sad thing is that the people that they're trying to help, they feel that and they sense that, right? And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to do this with charity, with love, and with mercy, and that is complicated. That is difficult.
And I'm not saying we don't get burnt out. I mean, we have that.
Okay.
You know, they call it compassion. What's it called? it's you can get really burnt out. We've had people come at us. I mean, we've known. I mean, it's not Mr. Rogers' land.
Yeah.
But see, it's our choice. These are the people that we wanted to help. So we need to learn about them. We need to learn, and we need to get diffusing skills. We have to. I have to always remind my staff, and a lot of them, 100% of them, were homeless at one time, drug dealing, doing that kind of life too, right? Yeah. But we have to say, okay, these people are not. We're not MDC.
Yeah.
Don't be a CEO.
Jailed. Yeah.
And sometimes I can see that at times.
Yeah.
I've got to check myself.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. And I pray every day, Father, give me wisdom and love.
Yeah.
Wisdom and love. How am I going to deal with this situation? Because when they call me and say, Pastor, we need you here now, I'm going, but as I'm going, I'm praying.
Yeah, well, and you never know what you're going to walk into.
I don't know what I'm going to walk into.
Yeah.
And so we are there, and I mean, I have the best staff. You know, some of them are mouthy, some of them are loud. I got to bring them down and say, you guys, let's talk with a tone that is manageable. Because God's word says if you give an anger, voice out, you're going to get that anger response. And then if you're dealing with somebody mentally ill and on a substance, and it's hot, and they're already frustrated, the city just took all their clothes, or they just got raped and beaten up. We don't know what's going on with that people coming into our property, or if we're going to talk to somebody out on the street, even out here getting fruit, fruit and vegetables and meats and stuff that we give out. So we always have to try to put a kindness to the way that we talk to them, and try to say, this is yours. This is about you. We're here because you are here, and we love helping you, but I need you to stop cussing. I need you to stop attacking my staff. Yeah. And if you're willing to work with us, we're going to have a really good time together today. And I try to bring that approach, and there's just some get them out.
But the majority,
because they want to fight.
But the majority of people, they respond 1%. To charity.
I mean, that's 1% or maybe 0.5 of that. That's half of 1% that rises up. Yeah. The rest of them are, thank you guys, thank you so much. We don't know what we would do without this place, and we're glad that we can provide. But I have to make sure that our staff is safe. I try, and now that you went over to see the fish pond, the fish, the water,
it's nice.
All of that, the pretty plants, the setup we're trying to have a peaceful habitation there. Yeah. That way, no matter what they come up into, they know that there's peace there. Yeah. And we're all going to be okay.
And there's light. Yeah.
And there's light, but it's not easy. Yeah. But it is so worth it.
So if we so this was a situation that really happened. The leadership team, somebody in the leadership team, they go out to throw the trash. They obviously there's somebody been sleeping behind the trash can. So there's like the metaphorical pendulum, there's how do you handle the situation? Well, the extreme part of the pendulum, because you know that the pendulum swings both ways, right? There's a middle, there's an extreme side to the right, there's an extreme side to the left. But the negative, if you go all the way over to the negative part of the proverbial pendulum, right? The negative aspect would be, well, if this is a choice that people have to make, right? Pastors have to make it, ministry leaders have to make it, churches have to make it, and Christians have to make it. The extreme is, well, let's just throw the mattress away, let's clean this up, let's get rid of this, we're done with it, the end of it. We don't want people back here, right? When you pull up, if you're a Christian, if you're Joe B. Christian and you're driving in your car and you get off the interstate and you see a man with a sign, right, and he's asking for food or he wants to work or something, you have to make that choice, right? Do I roll my window down? Do I give him a bottle of water? Do I give him a banana? Do I give him $1 or $2? Or do I just be like the priest and Levite and simply not get involved? So there's that aspect of whoever finds that situation. Let's throw the mattress away. Let's get rid of it. Then there's the other extreme. It's in more of a positive direction. And this was an actual, this is an actual quote that somebody said. Why don't we leave them a bottle of water and a Bible behind and leave the mattress so the next time that they come, they'll have a bottle of water and they'll have a Bible and they can stay another night here behind the trash can, right? So those are the two extremes. Those are the two choices you have. But you also have a third choice, right? Father, Son, Holy Spirit, right? That's why threes are so important. But you have a third choice, and it's to not act hastily in either direction and attempt to be led by the Holy Spirit. But I fear that many times we have these polarizations. Let's just get rid of this. Let's clean it up. Or let's put a bottle of water out. Let's put a Bible out and let them stay another night. But as a pastor and a property owner, that can become very complicated, because what kind of message does that send to the unhoused individual when he goes back the next night? It's a church. And all his stuff's gone. It's thrown away. That sends a message. But then, to be fair, if he goes back the next night and there's a bottle of water, a granola bar, and a Bible, and his mattress is still there, that sends a message too. So what is the right thing to do? Because that's complicated, right?
But you're going to still have night 3. So you got to make a call what you're going to do, and it's not going to be happy probably for him. So the best thing to do is go talk with him. Find him.
Yeah.
Go and say, okay, guy, I noticed you saw that we had a Bible and water and a granola for you here, but sir, you can't be here. So do you need help removing your mattress? But we're going to get in trouble. And there is a new ordinance they just created.
Oh yeah,
this
you were
summer.
telling me on the phone. What is that?
I don't know the name of it, but I know for sure because I heard it. Is that if you allow homeless, unhoused, homeless, whatever you want to call them, our individual brothers and sisters that are street suffering, if you bring them on your property, the city can take your property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's new. That's something new.
Yeah, that was this summer.
Wow, okay.
So what happens to my neighbor across the street when all these folks decide they want to move all their baskets and all their stuff, put up a tent, and how fair is that to him? Is it private property?
Yeah.
And they can do that even if it's private property? No, they're not supposed to.
Yeah, if it's private property,
You're not
then you
even
can...
supposed to be on the sidewalk. That's
Yeah.
the first ordinance that was kicked in. That is called abstraction of the sidewalk, walkability. People have to go all the way around you, which you can get hit by a car. So you have that.
And we've encountered people, just doing ministry where, and I've seen it get very heated, very debated, very ugly, very quickly with like city workers when they come and they and they start throwing everything away and they're like, this is my sidewalk, you can't kick me off the sidewalk.
Right.
So like some of those ideas are even changing with some of these ordinances.
Yeah, what I do is I always try to educate.
Yeah.
Because I have the advantage to bring them in and give them a meal.
Yes.
Okay? Even if they don't want to stay for recovery, they can still come back at 7. That's when we end recovery, and we're going to feed them again at the gate. So we have this communication where we can say, hey, did you know
that this is coming down the pike?
This is coming down the... Now, you, if they're giving you a citation and they get their mail here, some of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm already getting their bench warrant.
So
I know what's going on, and they say, okay, we're going to cite you now. If you don't appear before the judge, then you're going to get a bench warrant, and then we can take you to jail. So then they'll just move around, or they're going to find another spot to go to, and it's just this cat and mouse play. Whereas the city could just say, we have all these boarded houses, we have all these boarded apartments, Why don't we just put rooms in there with doors, let them share a kitchen and bathrooms, take them off the sidewalk, take them into a place. I mean,
and that becomes even more complicated.
But then again, it could be simple. Because you're actually appeasing these people on the street. And there could also be possibly a treatment component to it too, that can help them to either bring meetings there, or to try to get them to have a conversation about addiction. I mean, but I mean, we're waiting for all these buildings, and now they're going to reopen this and that, while the homeless population keeps growing and growing.
Do you think it's growing? Do you think the numbers are bigger than they're reporting?
New faces.
I remember
we're getting new faces all the time, because we are like one of the only ones.
And we don't know where everyone's coming from.
In International District, that gives a shower. So everybody tells them about me. You get 311, healthcare for the homeless, First Nations.
You know, and
everybody refers everybody to us.
And I've been talking to you for 2 years now, almost. And like, you're the only person that offers showers, other than maybe some facilities downtown. I don't know if the Rock.
They have them. Rock has them. I don't know
but but not up here.
Right. And then they had that cute idea of the old fire truck. Did you hear about that one?
No.
It was called Love something. And so they came down. I think they were on one of the streets, like Grove or something. And then all of a sudden, they had a whole bunch of people there, and then the cops, they said, came and busted it all up.
And they stopped it. So wow. So if we have this situation, you know, people might ask themselves, like, what's wrong with leaving an individual a bottle of water in a Bible? You make the good point of, if you leave the bottle of water, and if you leave the Bible, and if you leave the mattress without connecting or building a relationship with the individual who is on the mattress, it creates a lot of problems, right? Because there is something that happens with the unhoused, unfortunately, where you send signals, and one of those signals is multiplication, right? Multiplication. I've noticed this at our apartments where we live, and if one person sets up a tent, or sets up like an enclosure, or a tent, or a pallet with a tarp or something like that, and management from the apartment complex goes out and they don't get rid of it because it is their property. You know, there's the line now that they have to, and they can go out and say, no, you can't do that here. But if you let that go, you'll come back the next day, and instead of one tarp, one tent, now you have 4. Right? And I saw that happen. I saw that happen with God Cares About You, when it was over. Remember when Adamon used to have it over by a Dan Food Market, Chico in Pennsylvania. They let it slide, and they let it slide for like 2 weeks, and then like they couldn't get it back anymore.
Well, that's what happened to us.
Right here.
Remember?
Yeah, right here.
We had them from here to there, Mesilla and Trumbull, and lighting fires.
Wintertime's worse, huh?
They were lighting the fires. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
They were lighting the fires, and then the community thugs got mad, and they came out and started bringing guns and putting them in their faces, threatening them. We had a guy came up and asked him, how you doing today? And he says, not too good. I just got shot at 3 times. He said there's a maroon vehicle going around shooting the homeless. I mean, so there's like tension,
there's retaliation.
There's tension, community tension too, because you're smoking your drugs. My kids can't even walk down the street to get them to school. And, you know, so there's a lot of anger going on to where bad things can happen.
And I'm always worried, and I think that the church is always praying for that, or that the church is always praying against that a day will come where like that'll reach a boiling point, that'll reach a tipping point where like somebody's gonna not everybody's nice, not everybody's Christian, not everybody believes in Jesus, and there are people that will just get out of their car, beat someone half to death, maybe even kill them, get in their car, drive away, and this is Albuquerque, and nobody's going to say a word.
Or your neighbors will rise up against you and get signatures and shut you down.
Yeah, and it happens all the time because to be the Good Samaritan, it isn't easy.
No, you got to balance. You have to have a balancing act, because this is all residential.
No, yeah,
and so I have to appease my neighbors, and now we're at peace. We're all good. Instead of feeding 400 a day, I'm down back to 150 to 175. Okay, but it's real controlled.
Yeah.
It's not at once.
And you have you probably constantly have to mess with it.
Constantly policing it with love.
Yeah.
And compassion.
So you're sending a message. If you don't make the connection, if you don't establish the relationship with the individual on the mattress, you're sending a message that can lead to multiplication. Yeah. You're sending a signal that it's okay to sleep on the church property. It's okay to urinate, possibly defecate on the church property, shoot up on the church property, smoke fentanyl on the church property. And a lot of people will say, well, that's what the church is for. That's what the church.
Come pick them up and take them to your house.
The church is, but see, we don't. But that's the problem is we don't want to do that because many times our Christianity, it's a veneer, and underneath that Christianity is hypocrisy. We don't have as much charity and love as we try to pretend that we do.
It's what you should be doing, you people.
Yeah.
But don't tell me I should be helping do that.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. This is a population, especially with the fentanyl and the methamphetamine, and my God, it's
and weren't you telling me that crack cocaine's back?
Crack's back. Xanax. People are getting.
Yeah, they probably work well with the fentanyl, the benzodiazepines.
Yes. And then so you have all this going on, and then you see their health declining, and it breaks your heart because you know they're not going to be alive very much longer.
Yeah,
Come on, these people are like in their 30s, 40s, 50s.
And everyone's losing their teeth.
There's no teeth. The teeth, a lot of them are gone.
Yeah.
And then we talk about this all the time in recovery. You look in the mirror and you think, well, I don't look that bad. Yeah, I lost a few teeth. I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then you go look again and you're 10 pounds down, and then you see all your cheekbones, and then now you're slumped over, and now you can't walk and you can't straighten up anymore.
Do you know what that is? Because a lot of people have asked me, how come people are just, and I don't mean when they're under the influence of fentanyl, but like people, like they can't stand up straight anymore.
That's a lot of that
is it malnutrition?
Muscular. It's muscular.
Is it from the xylazine?
It's from the drugs.
The animal tranquilizer?
It's just because your body has been doing that for so long that it affects, that's what I heard.
The central nervous system even?
Yeah, and the spine.
Oh, wow.
And so then now they go into like a freeze. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I have.
They call it the zombie freeze.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So a lot of that's happening too, but they're dying. Did you know that when they do the fentanyl and they're inhaling it through the aluminum? I mean, aluminum is bad already, all by itself.
Yeah, running the foils.
And then now you're smoking the pills and have your lighter under there. So now you're inhaling foil and the fentanyl, and it's creating pockets of pus.
Oh, in the larynx and the throat. Yeah, it's awful.
And so
that's terrible.
It's very sad what's going on physically. So many of our people.
And I think that's why people they just don't want to get involved, because you mentioned something earlier. You mentioned something how we never know who's coming in here. We never know what happened to people right before they come in the doors. Mm-hmm. You spoke about violence and you spoke about sexual assault, and I don't think that people know that, understand that, and I don't think that people really want to think about that. And in one sense, you can't blame people for not wanting to think about that, but then there's the pendulum again. It's people that are unhoused, they experience violence, they experience sexual assault. Not only women, but men. There are men that prostitute, not just women. That stuff is very real.
Last night we were talking about domestic violence. It's not just women that beat.
Yeah.
But women beat up their husbands too because they don't want to hit them.
Yeah.
I mean, so we just see this one victim thing going on, but we have to have conversations about this.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
We have to. We had a beautiful conversation last night.
That's good.
On power and control.
Yeah.
If you want to do these ministries, you guys, if you feel like you are called to do this, you need a team of people. You need to learn diffusing skills. You need to learn the compassion and always keep a focus on why you are doing this. And you also need to know that you will have to remove some people. You have to know how to be Narcan ready. You have to have
and
that
you have to have it.
You have to have that on your site. We'll just be here and all of a sudden somebody run in, somebody OD'd, we need Narcan. Here you go. I mean, you have to know CPR.
Remember I told you that there were ministries that were out here that didn't even have it.
Yeah, you have to have it if you want to save a life.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at McDonald's.
Well, if you're a ministry and you're ministering here in the International District and you don't have Narcan, like you shouldn't even be out here.
But you can get it free from hospitals. You can get it free from pharmacies. You can get it free from libraries.
Yeah.
They will give it to you also. So yes, have it with you. I was at McDonald's because I love their ice cream.
Yeah.
And I went through there, and there was a guy, and there's an officer, I don't know, a security guard, and he's on the phone trying to get 911 there, and this guy's OD'd. It's a very, very, you can see that that's happening. One of the girls, these other addicts out there, they have Narcan.
Yeah.
They know what to do. She ran inside McDonald's, and she got a cup of ice cold water. And she got him, and she threw the ice on him.
Yeah.
And he got up.
Yeah.
And he woke up. So they
pulled him out
know what to do because they got to deal with this all the time.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and it's great that they're able to navigate those really difficult
and
situations.
They're smart. They know CPR.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, their life depends on it.
Right. I know one lady said she saved over 160 lives.
Yeah, we should do a video with her sometime.
Rachel.
Yeah.
She's one of them in college that got off the methamphetamine.
That's wonderful.
I mean it. Okay, we're talking about things that are very, very critical and that we have to be ready for if we do this type of ministry that we feel we are called to do. But let me tell you a little bit about that outcome. And I know, we're not going to be too long. But we have people that just need that extra love, that extra motivation, that extra push. And when we stay in a tenacious attitude with them, and we get them to see that their addiction is out of control. And when we start to see that happening, or when they come to you and they say, Pastor, we just got out of jail, we're done, we got to have something ready for them. A recovery program. We have to have something that's going to talk about addiction, that's going to help them to break through. Like our recovery program is called Rise Up. A righteous man falls 7 times but rises up, right?
Yes.
So we have to have these things in place too, because we have 3 in college right now that are doing amazing. A mother that was struggling, and she basically said, this is it. I'm going to go to the Compassion Center. I'm going to take my 4 kids. If I don't make it, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, that's terrible.
She had already said, I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, this mother is going to school now. She's starting CNM now in September.
That's great.
She's doing amazing. She's been sober for almost, for months and months and months. The kids are calmer. The kids feel safe. She's proceeding to get her housing now. I mean, so we're talking about life-changing situations. We had a guy last night stood up and he said, I'm so glad to be here. He said, Pastor, he said, I didn't put a needle in my arm last night because I was here in this place and I knew it was safe and I knew that you have a 7 o'clock curfew.
Yeah.
And that I needed to stay in. And so that caused me, because it's a trigger out here.
Oh yeah, just all the action, streets and everything.
There's action out here. I mean, the music's playing, everybody's partying, so when you're an addict and you're trying to quit, all of a sudden you see the stimulation. The first thing your brain kicks in, man, and it's like, I want that.
Because the years of substance abuse, they actually alter and they change the way that you think.
Smell.
Yeah. That's one of the
Music,
biggest triggers is
all of
music
it.
and
All
is the
of it.
senses.
That was me. I had to quit smoking cigarettes. I had to change my music. I had to be completely in the Word of God, and I had to be here even though I didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
Because
So
I needed to hear
yes.
the Word, and my mind needed to be renewed.
So there's positive. Okay, so we've talked about how you could not get involved, but then there's also positive things to be involved in. Like if you leave the bottle of water, if you leave the Bible, and if you can develop a relationship with the person, showing an act of Christian charity is always beneficial, right?
Mhm.
Let's say you leave the bottle of water, let's say you leave the Bible, you leave the mattress, you have a chance to connect with the individual who's made in the image of God. Hopefully you can get the individual through the doors of your church to hear about Christ. You can also help the individual get resources. You can talk to him about drug and alcohol problems, detoxification problems, access to shelters, and health care. And above all, you can try to get that person spiritual help. So we've gone through these things, and this is a situation that happened. Like they went out there, they saw the mattress, and it's ambiguous. Like I don't really know what they did with it. I don't know how they handled it. But the point is it's a delicate situation, and it's a reoccurring problem.
A lot of it. I can't even imagine some of these businesses, what they're dealing with right now. I went through my battles, and now I know. And if I don't get help, because it could happen again.
Yes.
I mean, if I start seeing 10, 15 baskets and they're all like, "Oh, we're safe here. We could do this." Then, and if they're not moving, and if I see the police talking to them, and then they do nothing, that means I'm at risk.
Yeah.
See, I can't help nobody now.
Yeah.
If I'm not here, I can't help you.
Yeah.
So, what do? Do I just say, "Oh, leave them alone. I'll take them a plate of food to them, and they can stay on the sidewalk. I'll even offer them matches, maybe a few fire logs."
Yeah, and then they'll burn somebody's house down.
That's what I'm saying.
Or they'll burn your ministry down.
It's hard, you guys, but you have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But if you keep, it's just like a naughty kid. We're going to go to Walmart. Now, you already got your toy yesterday. You're not going to get another one today.
Yeah.
So you get in the store and, wow, I want it now.
Yeah.
Throwing. So what are you going to do? You're going to have to say, well, we had already said that you're not going to. So I guess I'll have to put up with that for a minute. But I got to be consistent. I have to be consistent in this community. If I'm not, this is all gone. And this helps thousands of people a month.
Yeah, I believe that.
Not only that, but the beautiful food that comes here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what do I got to do here? So I have to be the meat guy sometimes, the bad guy, if they want to call me that.
Yeah.
If they know I love them.
Yeah.
And they know they can come get clothes, and they know we're going to forgive, because we do that many times.
Yeah.
We've had to remove somebody because they were out of control. They were too high. And we had to make everything safe, so we had to walk them out. But they can come back, especially if they apologize and say, "I'm sorry, Pastor." And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It was a bad day, but remember, and then you got to remind them. Remember who we are and how we behave here.
Yeah.
So that I can continue to help you. If you guys devastate the situation, I'm gone.
Right.
And everything's gone.
So
I'll be an orphanage.
Yeah. to wrap up today, we've talked about how sometimes it's complicated and difficult to be the Good Samaritan, and we always have to remember the words of Jesus. Jesus says, who was the neighbor out of the three? Who was the most neighborly towards the individual who had need? And it was the man who had shown mercy. So several things that we can take away from this is, if you want to get involved with the unhoused, you have to be tenacious. Yeah. One thing we have to always continually strive for as evangelicals, and evangelicals are real bad about this at times. One thing we have to strive for is we cannot be ignorant, and we cannot remain ignorant. We have to know the laws, we have to know the statutes, we have to know the ordinances, or we can't help anybody.
You got to protect yourself.
Yeah. And we have to remember that people can and do make it out of these terrible situations.
Yes, they do.
We have to have the love of Christ, And above all, we have to remain diligent. Amen. Thank you. I want to thank you for coming on.
I always enjoy it.
And we'll be doing more of these. God bless you and be safe.
Amen. That was great. Good conversation.